What's up, guys? It's Quicksilver here, and I am thankfully back in the overworld. Let's see, I have been a busy boy. I guess I shouldn't say I'm thankfully back in the overworld. I feel like I've been spending a lot of time down in the nether, but I forgot I built this pig farm up here, so I guess I've been up here for a little while. I'm still breeding them over here, and let me tell you why. There's still some weird stuff going on with Mojang, and I'm not sure why or what it is or what's going on, but animals still seem to be having some issues. While I do have some pigs up in here, and obviously their babies are breeding down here, so life is good. The pig farm is absolutely a success. It's working a heck of a lot better than the other one was. But at the same time, for some reason, I'll come out here and nothing will happen, but I will just hear my pigs scream in pain and they will die for no apparent reason. So yeah, it looks like I've at least got 2 of them left in here. There's a third back there. So yeah, they're still hanging around, but there's some weird things going on with mobs, and I don't think it's just the pigs, because when I came back from the nether, all my chickens up here in the hatching area had died as well. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Hopefully that's an issue that Mojang is aware of. I think it might be part of the issue that I was having downstairs, I guess, with the pig farm 1.0. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm glad I made the new pig farm, because I do feel like it's a lot more successful. It lets me have a lot more pigs in there, or at least it ultimately will when I can rely on them living. But in the meantime, that thing produces plenty of eggs that get trapped down in here, so I'm not too worried about losing all my chickens. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep this little area over here where this house is, and I'll just keep breeding pigs. But that's not what we're doing today. What we're going to do today is I am still on the quest over here in the villager area to get the ultimate villager. By that, in case you guys are not familiar with what an ultimate villager is in Minecraft, the ultimate villager, I'll just head over that direction. The ultimate villager is one that you can trade with, not forever basically, with an easy trade that will give you nothing but emeralds. So in the case of, if you have an iron golem farm like that, and probably that would be the ideal farm, at least for me, you would have a blacksmith, and the very last trade that he has would be the iron bars. So basically the way that villager trading works is when you buy something off them, they'll sell it to you until they're out of stock, and then they won't sell it to you anymore. But if you buy something else from them, there's a chance that they'll unlock one of the other trades, and you just have to kind of keep going through. However, the very last trade that they have in there will always be available. So if you get a villager, that if you look at the villager chart that I think I posted maybe 4 videos ago, you'd have to check the descriptions. Yes, I'm lazy. There's a villager chart there, and for example, I think the blacksmith has something like 32 different things that they can trade you. You'd have to go through all those 32 things and get the luck of the draw that the very last item he would want to sell you would be iron bars. If you were lucky enough to have that, then you would have wow, you would have a guy that you could just trade the iron bars to forever, and he would continue to give you emeralds. When he stopped giving you emeralds, you'd stop trading with him, you'd wait a couple seconds, go back in, and he would be willing to trade the iron bars for emeralds yet again. So it's really kind of a cool thing. However, the easiest perfect villager to get are the guys that wear the little white lab coat looking guys. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be, and actually I don't even have one in here to show you right now. I'm about fed up with them because I keep going through and trying to find one. But anyway, they're the guys that sell, I guess they'll trade paper, they'll trade books. I guess they're supposed to be librarians. But their ultimate trade that they will do is they will trade you paper for emeralds. And the nice thing about that is reed farms don't have to be replanted. They're easy to create, so I've got actually 2 of them over here now. I think I may have already shown you these things, but I did expand. This was my old reed farm that I had working, but I actually built this second one as well just because I was going through paper so quickly. I do have a small quantity of emeralds left, but that's why I'm frustrated, because I keep going through them and waiting for the villager pool down at the bottom to send up some more of those guys. But eventually I'll get the guy that I'm after, and life will be good. But yeah, in the meantime, trading with these guys is getting kind of frustrating. It's really satisfying to turn the cooker back on and cook these guys, but yeah, it's frustrating, and you go through them quickly, and then this thing's emptied out, and you gotta wait for more of them to spawn. So in the meantime, I know you can crash your world if you just let villagers pile up forever, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I actually have a backup of the world, so it's not that big a deal. If that does happen, I can just restore it, but I want to get a metric shit ton of these guys hanging out in here, and then I'm gonna go through all of them, and hopefully I'll get lucky. So that is the plan with the villager mini mall. I know I told you guys a couple episodes ago that I'd give you an update when I had more. I was hoping that that update was going to be going, oh yeah, check it out, I got the ultimate guy, but so far no luck, so that's that. But pursuant to that goal, the way that the sugarcane farms work is they only grow if you're actually in the same, I don't know if it's the same chunk or not, but they have to actually be loaded. So like right now, those guys might be growing. The sugarcane is probably growing over there, although I've not really done any tests to find out. But my understanding of how that works, that's how it works. So in order to try and maximize it, for the longest time, I've just been using these really dinky, crappy little farms over here. And they've sufficed so far to feed the cows and feed the pigs and all that good stuff. My sugarcane farm over here is a total joke. So, and almost every time I come down here, it looks like it does right now, where it is absolutely full. It's, you know, they're all tall, sugarcane and all that, and that's because this is probably where I spend the most time. So these guys are always loaded, so they're always growing. So pursuant to that goal, that sounded like I was a cop or something. Man, that was creepy. Since I want to have the paper farm guy or paper villager trading guy over there, I'm actually going to create today, and that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build an automatic sugarcane farm, and the way that thing works is it relies on a bud switch, and I'll be building one of those things for you, and if I'm back and forthing, I apologize, but I'm using Mumbo Jumbo's design. Like Mumbo a lot. Like I said, I'll post a link to it, to the actual tutorial where he tells you how to do this thing. But I like him a lot, but man, he's a fast talker from, I think from the UK. If you're not from the UK and you happen to see this Mumbo, I hope I don't offend. But anyway, I really like his stuff, and I think it's a really cool design for a farm. It's modular, so I don't know. I'm going to build one of these things, and then we'll see how it goes, how big the thing is, and I might actually build more of them. You can stack them up. I'm probably not going to have a lot of room to stack them because of the bridge here, but I don't know. I don't want to have a big wall of sugarcane farms, or I guess reed farm is what it technically is, since you don't really make, although I don't know, it's interesting. You can make, apparently this is sugarcane and reeds because you can make paper and sugar from it, but riddle me that, Batman. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing dug out over here. I guess the first thing we've got to do is I got to find a place for it, which, ta-da, I found a place for it. It's got to be 10 by 4 is what it looks like the farm is in his tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dig this area out here, and we'll see where it's going to fit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, excellent. By 4 deep. I think I want this thing to be in line sort of with the hill right here. At least that's what I'm telling myself. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that, and then I'm going to dig back. Oh, nice. Cool. So I guess this is going to be my 4, and then my 10 deep is going to be pretty easy to do. Alright, now the only thing I got to be careful of is I have unlit the area now a little bit as well, so I got to be careful I don't get any unwanted friendies hanging out here. So, and since I've never built this thing before, it might be a little bit of trial and error-y kind of stuff here too, so bear with me on it, guys. Hopefully it will go smooth like glass, but it could go bumpy like ass if you're Miley Cyrus. Sorry, that's topical. VMA thing, all that happy stuff, her twerking, looking like a total moron. So anyway, you know, I've got a bunch of coal. I'm gonna kick myself. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go AFK. I'll build the foundation of this thing up in here, and I'll show it to you guys, and it's not gonna be too exciting or anything like that, so rather than make you watch me dig, I will be right back. Okay guys, so we have begun. I've gotten the area dug out, as you can tell. I think I have all my materials in place, so here's what we have, basically, just to let you know. Obviously the sand blocks here represent where we are going to grow our sugarcane or reeds or whatever. Oh man. Oh, double man. I broke my pick. I don't know if you guys noticed, I was actually using a craptastic stone pick, and the reason for that was I think I was in the nether. I didn't feel like wasting iron on a pick. I had a bunch of cobblestone, so yeah. So my punishment for that transgression is I'm going to lose the blocks. So Anyway, back to what I was saying. What we've done here is we have this is where we'll grow our sugarcane or our reeds, whatever you want to call them. We have a line of hoppers down here just to make sure that when the reeds actually get broken, they're going to fly around everywhere, and the hoppers are going to make sure that they pick them up. And we actually, underneath this block, we have another hopper. So we're going to put a collection chest right here, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to do it along with Mumbo's tutorial. Actually, hell with it. No, I'm not. I think I can believe in myself enough to throw down a chest, right? If I have to move it, I move it. So that's going to be where we're going to collect all of our reeds, is the plan. So that is that. Next, you know what, actually, next let's go ahead. We're going to fill in our water trough here. I agree with Mumbo in his tutorial. He mentions he likes the look of still water. I thoroughly agree with that. I think I can support that because of all the farming that I've done. That's all I ever use. So not that that really matters either way. If you are building this and you're using my video here as your primer to learn how, you do whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. So then I believe behind the sand we want to do that, and then we want to throw down a row of regular pistons, not stickies. I so love that because I burn out so much. I use sticky pistons, I feel like, for everything, so it's so nice to actually use something that doesn't require slime balls. So yeah, anyway, there is that, and I think our next step is we're going to want to go ahead and pretty this thing up a little bit. Now, I know the bud switch we're building, I think, is going to be built on this guy and then back here a little bit, so it's going to be a little wider, I think, than what I initially said. I think the initial build pad that I was doing was just going to be a 4x9. I actually added this little row of half slabs here in the front, and like I said, I'm pretty sure, I think it's just going to be right back in here that we're going to use. There's going to be a little redstone that's going to come around here too. So once I'm completely finished with this whole thing, I will probably pretty this thing up and put it in some sort of a building. But like I said, I wanted to at least get this part built to see if it's something that we want to use. The modularity, is that a word? The fact that we can build it modularly and have more stuff. I don't know if it's time to put those down or not, but it looks good, so I'm going to go for it. And then I'll throw the extras in here, and we'll have 9 sugarcane to start. So, alright, I think that's a start, so let me go ahead and take a quick break here. I want to make sure I have my ducks in a row on what we're going to do to build the bud switch back here. If I'm not mistaken, and I'm just going to go ahead and try it, I think we want to throw a furnace up here, and I think we're going to use the fact that we can get a signal, a comparator signal out of that thing, and that's a cheap thing to build is my guess on that. But before I do any more guesswork, why don't I actually make sure? So I will be right back. Okay guys, I think I got it now, and it's actually good that I went away for a minute there because I actually was short a block. I do have my furnace in the right place, so I'm a happy camper on that. So alright, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place another piston facing up right next to the other pistons that are facing the direction that I'm looking, and on top of that we're going to place a block of sand, so it'll be a falling block. I guess you could probably use gravel too is my guess, but I'm not monkeying with it. We're going to throw 23 items in the furnace there. That's important because that's what's going to let us get our signal back out of that furnace through the block. And to do that, we're going to place another block here, and we're going to throw a comparator on it, which I just happen to have, as luck would have it, right? Anyway, so we drop that on. You can see it's getting a signal, and it's doing that because the signal is actually, the power is, I guess, traveling from the furnace through the block here and then into the comparator. So then the next thing we want to do is we're going to throw a block in front of that comparator, and the way that I'm doing that, just so you know, is I'm targeting the edge of the comparator and shift clicking on it. I don't know if it matters about shift, but that's just how I roll. So then the next item, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this. Make this, so it's kind of like an inverted L or a 2x3 Tetris piece if you're an old Tetris fan. 2 redstone dust are going to go on that. I'm going to then throw a repeater down right here. Right here. 0 delay, I'm not going to change that at all. And then we're going to run our redstone signal down here to the very last piston. So that gives us the signal that we need. And that's good timing because it is nighttime, and I don't know if this place is lit up well enough to keep mobs away, so I'm going to go sack out really fast, and then we'll come back down here and finish that up. Alrighty guys, it is morning now, so life is good. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. At this point, I guess in Mumbo's tutorial, this is where he places his sugarcane, but since we've already done that, I won't worry about it. And then in front of this stuff, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place a line of iron bars. Why? Because. And I think that's the location they need to be. Yeah, that's right, because if I put them any further back, then when these things pulse out, they'd just shove them off, so that wouldn't do any good anyway. So I guess all that's really left for me now, there we go. Apparently it just pulsed. Oh, you know what? It pulsed because I threw down that block. So yeah, there's the bud switch in action. That's going to happen anytime any one of these things grows, which is really bitchin', because that means I can grow sugarcane and just freaking ignore it over here. Which I like very much, because I really don't like having to monitor farms. Oops, if I can help it. And as you can see, it buds on this side as well. So thank you. That was a good example there. How considerate, right? So there we go. I'm just going to go ahead and pretty this thing out a little more, because I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of the way it looks at this point in time anyway. Let's see. I don't have very many of those. You know what? I think right here, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, good deal. I have more of these guys. Beautiful, and the thing that I need to craft it with. I'm going to go ahead and make some stone steps just so I can kind of edge out the front of that thing a little bit. We'll pick those back up too, because I really didn't mean to throw those on the floor. And what did I do? Okay. I thought I made more than 4 steps. That will work. 20 should be plenty, right? So I'm actually going to tear off this front edge here. Okay, tell me I have something to build a pick over here. Okay, I don't, so my penance for that is going to be a crappy pick. So here we go. We'll pick that out of there, and I feel just like I did beforehand. I've got this monstrous stone pick now. Sweet. So alright, I'm going to go ahead and clean this thing up just a little bit here, guys, and I will check back in with you. Once I've kind of gotten a feel for how long it's going to take this thing to work, I'll decide if I'm going to make more of them. I'm pretty pleased. This was actually a really easy build, so yeah, if you don't like messing with sugarcane, this is, so far I would completely recommend it, as long as there's no bugs or anything like that with it, which I don't think there will be. This was just supremely easy to build, so okay. Yeah, I'm going to monkey around. I'll definitely monkey around with this thing off camera, so I'll see you guys in just a minute, and I'll give you an update. Okay, guys, so there we have it. That is the reed farm, and I gotta say, it's only been about 5 minutes maybe since I last chatted with you, and it's already fired off about 3 or 4 times. I guess it's fired off 6 times because I have 15 reeds in there now. I've not made it modular yet. Like I said, I think I'm going to give it a chance before I dink around with any modularity of it. I guess the first thing I could do, if I wanted to, I could extend this thing until the redstone signal up on the top actually peters out. So I guess I could probably go, I think this is only 8, what is this, 9, 10, it's only about 10 things. So I could probably put out another 5 pistons or so if I'm remembering my redstone correctly. So we could make this thing a little bit longer and get a little bit more production out of it. Right now it's probably going to be on par with this little thing over here. And yeah, I don't know, I might leave this here just for shits and giggles. It's, you know, I've had it here since the beginning, so maybe I'll just leave it. I don't know. But yeah, there you go. There's our reed farm. I'll go ahead and throw these guys in there too. It can't hurt. And I think I'm going to go ahead and call that a video at this point in time, guys. Still trying to think about the next major project that I want to do for you guys. There you go. Now you got to see it fire off. So there it is, and there they are, 22. So super easy to as you saw, pretty super easy to build. I think if you built a bunch of these things, you could they would be really easy to string together. I know Mumbo in his tutorial, check it out. He talks about and shows how you can string this thing together so that you could really make a pretty aggressive, is probably the good word for it, a pretty aggressive reed farm. So if that's something that you need a lot of, I highly suggest it. It's really easy to do. I might actually, because this was such an easy little build, I might actually throw some of these things in other areas. Like I said, I'm still trying to think my next big build for you guys. I'm thinking it might be the potion brewing area, which will probably be in that wall over there. And I'm thinking, well, if that's the case, maybe I'll build one of those things over there as well. So I think I'm going to go feed the pigs, and that is it for me, man. If you liked what you saw, please give me a thumb up. It really helps the channel. I hear you firing off up there again. And if you really liked what you watched, then go ahead and subscribe if you've not already done so, and I will catch you guys next time. You're piggy, come on, man.